welcome to the channel. I'm Steve. This is my wood stove that I built. Kind of break it down. This is built out of 2 tanks that I took out of a couple machines that I cut up for scrap. And the top tank is a water tank, and I just cut the saddle over the bottom tank, which is the firebox. We've got obviously our chimney coming out this end. On the base down here is the air inlet, and all these tubes run all the way through and blow heat out the side. So with this, I'm able to heat the floor in this 40 by 60 shop. It's about half insulated, maybe less than that, and we're able to keep it pretty warm in here. And let me show you around a little bit. You guys will have to bear with me a little bit. I'm new to all this video equipment and editing. So here we got a gauge. This is our water temperature, and looks like we're sitting right about 70 degrees. And coming around the side here, we're just coming up to temperature, getting up around 300 degrees. So basically, we've got this little fan, and that blows through this thing that looks like an exhaust manifold, and that goes into these pipes. All these pipes come through and blow out on this side. And there is a floor on top of these pipes that runs through the whole stove, and basically your fire comes up inside of there, goes around those tubes, hits that plate, has to flow to the front here. That plate ends right in here, and then your flame comes up and hits the bottom of this tank, which is, this tank is just saddled onto there. We cut the bottom foot or 18 inches out of it, and basically that last bit of flame hits this water tank, warms up this water, and that gets pumped through the floor. You can see my door here is not quite finished yet. I haven't put a latch on it, so I just put this little bolt in there, close it down. It's working great for now. The way that this works is we've got water coming out of this side, flows down, goes into this little pump. This is a Hydronic recirculation pump. We run up this pipe, comes into this old hot water tank I got out of a demo. I plan to wire this in so that if I am not here to run the wood and the fire, I can keep the shop warm if I need to. I'll set a thermostat to that. So from there we run across here to our hot side, and we're sitting about 16-17 degrees Celsius on the hot side, and we're down about 12 degrees on the cold side. That's how much heat change we get going through this thing. And I can adjust these guys and change the flow. I have 5 zones in the floor, and these loops of pipe go in the concrete and run through, and I can put more heat in one section of the shop or less. And then we go back down this pipe, and we come back up into here and back into the water tank. This isn't per se a wood boiler as much as it is it's more of a heater than a boiler. We don't get super high pressure, and this cap up here doesn't quite seal, so I don't hold pressure. If I really lock that down, I can get it to hold pressure, but right now we're pretty much zeroed out. Since I just opened that, I think it had about 10 pounds on it. But and the other thing I've got going on here is this piece of rectangle tubing comes in from the outside of the wall and goes into this base that the thing sits on, and these are essentially like a blast gate or a gate valve. I haven't set them up on the linkages yet to control them, but those will control the draft. So from there, this tubing comes around the bottom and these pipes go up inside of it, and that's how we get air. I can get all the air in the back of the stove or all the air in the front of the stove, and depending on what we're trying to do. So this bottom tank was a air compressor oil reclaimer. Probably calling that the wrong thing, off of a Ingersoll Rand rock drill. And then this upper tank was a fuel tank. Actually, no, it was an air tank off of a Dart wheel loader that I cut up and removed from a mine site. And these other parts just look cool. So the paint job on this thing is absolutely terrible, and I did sandblast this entire unit, and I have about 10 cans of this Seymour paint on it, and you can see it's not very good. So a little rust going on here because I've got a minor little leak up in the roof. I don't know if you can see that with the glare of the light up there, but it drips, and it's been raining non-stop. So one of these dry days I got to get up there and fix the flashing or get a little caulking on it. But for now, it's not enough to bother anything. You can see we're creeping up a little bit on temperature. If we look at the floor here, we got 69. Anything above 65, it starts warming up pretty good in here, and nice working temperature. So the master plan here is I'm going to take some old wrenches and whatnot and build some controls here and run some linkages that'll run the draft controls. And then I also have a damper on the flue pipe. I can turn that, and if I did ever get the water too hot, I could just very quickly kill this thing out. And but so far, with the amount of water, I've got about 100 gallons in the top of this thing, and it never gets above about 80 degrees. And if it gets above 80 degrees, it is hot in the shop. So I don't think we'll ever have a boil over issue. So there it is. It's a work in process, but man, it's toasty and it works good. The floor in this shop is absolutely powder dry. I can pull the tractor in here with snow on it, and the floor just dries out. You can actually see the steam coming up off of it. My boys come out here and roll around and play. It's if I'm crawling under a truck working on stuff, your feet aren't cold. It's just wonderful. Costs a little bit of money and a lot of time. Kind of did this on a budget, and it's worked out really good. So I'll make more videos about this thing as we go on here and finish some stuff up. But for this year, the priority list is probably going to call this done for a little bit, and we'll work on it later. Thanks for watching.